Hi, this is Umar Azam, and I'm presenting with Imran Awazish and Fahad bin Nasir for our assessment one. Our topic today revolves around Australia's ongoing housing crisis, which is a critical economic issue and a classic example of supply and demand dynamics. The media article we are analyzing today was published in The Guardian around 6 months ago. However, its insights still remain highly relevant because the housing crisis is still same, if not gone worse, since then. So, how do we know that we are in the middle of a housing crisis? Here are three key indicators. In major Australian cities, the rental vacancy rate has declined to just 0.5%, making it extremely difficult for the renters to find housing. Australia currently has 420 dwellings per thousand people, which is lower than the OECD average. The severity of this crisis is evident in the 2024 and 2025 federal budget, where the Albanese government has dedicated an entire chapter to address housing shortages. A key driver of this crisis is population growth and migration, which are essential for economic expansion. However, our housing infrastructure has failed to keep up the pace. Average migration figure in the last two financial years has been 500,000 people per year, which has caused the demand to rise, leaving behind supply by a big margin. The affordability crisis is another major concern. Servicing a new home loan in 2023 required 46% of your household income, compared to just 29% in 2020. In 2002, the average house price was 4.9 times the average disposable household income. By 2024, this had increased to 8.6 times, reflecting a dramatic decline in affordability. A big factor behind this is what happened in 2001, as shown in this graph on the screen. This was the point where government reduced the capital gains tax on property investments by 50%, which fueled the investment in housing and drove up the property prices and started the affordability issues for first home buyers. Another bottleneck is the slow pace of construction approvals and development. The government aimed to build 1.2 million homes over 5 years in 2023, which requires 240,000 approvals per year. However, in 2023, only 160,000 approvals were issued by the relevant LGAs, which is only two-thirds of the target. The housing shortage is further compounded by insufficient infrastructure, such as power, water, and roads, which is needed to support new developments. Finally, this article highlights the issue around construction cost and labor shortages. Land prices are up by 50% and construction costs have risen by almost 30% since 2018. Some indicators suggest that the construction productivity is now even lower than what we had in 1990s. R&D in housing sector is lower than 2%, which is far behind as compared to other sectors like manufacturing and transport. Around 53% of strata buildings surveyed in New South Wales had serious defects, which requires rework and it diverts resources away from new construction. Now I'll pass over to Imran for further analysis of supply and demand issues.
Thank you, Emma. Now, let's look at the Guardian's media story from economic angle. It is evident that Australia's housing crisis is not just about high prices, as covered in the media story. It is about the fundamental imbalance between supply and demand. While the report raises important concerns, it presents a broad view of the issue, overlooking other key economic factors, which I will address in the upcoming slides. Here's a simple way to look at it. Supply and demand work together to set home prices, assuming all other things being equal. The blue line here represents demand, that how many people want homes. The green line represents supply, how many homes are available. When demand is high and supply is steady, prices go up. But when supply can't increase fast enough because of delays, costs, and land shortages, prices skyrocket. We saw this happen over the years since the turn of the century. Interest rates were low, demand was booming, but supply just couldn't catch up. The result, Australia's housing market became one of the most unaffordable in the world. Now, I will break down the key factors driving the crisis and model them on our supply demand graphs. What happens when demand keeps increasing? Let's example tax breaks, negative gearing, capital gains tax cuts in 1999. All encourage investment from domestic and international investors. Secondly, immigration surged, adding more buyers and renters into the market. Furthermore, interest rates stayed low for years, making borrowing easier. If I now model it on our graph, this means demand shifts towards right from D1 to D2, but supply wasn't growing at the same rate. So what happened? Prices jumped even higher, pushing home ownership out of the reach of many Australians. So, can we just build more homes to fix this? Well, let's talk about supply now. If supply couldn't increase just as fast as demand, we wouldn't have this problem. But that's not happening. Here's why. Firstly, construction takes time. Between planning, approvals, and building itself, it can take years to deliver new homes. Secondly, rising material cost. There are shortages in timber, steel, and labor, which slows down the projects and make them even more expensive. We are still using slow and outdated construction methods in Australia instead of faster and modern solutions being adopted in the rest of the world. Major cities don't have enough space, and rezoning takes a long time. So instead of keeping up with demand, supply stalled. That means higher prices and fewer affordable homes. Our graph it shifts supply towards left from S1 to S2, pushing price point even higher to E3. So, is there a solution? The good news is that yes, there are ways to fix this, but it will take a mix of smart policies and modern solutions. From economic analysis perspective, if we increase supply in the right way, our S curve in the graph also shifts towards right, from S2 to S3. With more homes available, prices can stabilize, making housing more affordable for everyone. So there is a way forward. Now, Fahad will talk about the solution of balancing supply and demand. That means more homes, fairer prices, and better future for housing in Australia.
Thank you, Imran. I'll walk through the recommendations for addressing this issue from the perspective of key stakeholders like government, developers, financial institution, and residents. Government play a central role in housing policy. Long approval processes and regulatory bottlenecks slow down housing development. By cutting red tape and offering tax incentive for affordable housing, government can make it easier for developers to build. Additionally, public-private partnership can help finance large-scale projects. Government should also allocate public lands to affordable housing initiatives, reducing land cost. Importantly, enabling infrastructure is critical. Without roads, power, and water, new housing projects can't move forward. The government $1 billion commitment to infrastructure is a step in the right direction. Developers play a critical role in tackling the housing crisis, yet rising costs and regulatory barriers make it difficult to deliver affordable homes. To stay ahead, developers should embrace innovative construction methods like prefabricated and modular housing, which can reduce cost and speed up delivery. Beyond that, securing land through community land trust ensure affordability in the long run. Financial incentives such as low interest loans and tax breaks can help fund affordable housing projects. Labor shortages remains a challenge. Expanding vocational training, skill migration programs, and adopting AI-driven automation can address this gap. Investing in robotic construction and digital tools like building information modeling can further improve efficiency and quality. By adopting these strategies, developers can lower cost, streamline construction, and help bridge the housing supply gap. Financial institutions play a crucial role in funding housing projects, but right now there is uncertainty to fund affordable housing due to perceived risk and lower returns. What can be done? Financial institutions can develop low interest loan programs specifically for affordable housing projects. They can also offer innovative financial products such as rent to own schemes, which allow renters to transition to home ownership. By working alongside developers and the government, financial institution can help increase the affordability of housing. Finally, we turn to residents and home buyers. The government, developers, and financial institutions need to create more opportunities for residents to achieve home ownership. One potential solution is promoting alternative housing models like co housing, or shared equity schemes, which help people purchase homes with less upfront cost. Additionally, stronger rent control measures and tenant protection would help ensure renters are not left without security or affordable options. In conclusion, the housing crisis is a complex issue that requires the collective efforts of all stakeholders. It is clear that there is no one size fits all solution. However, by working together, we can create lasting and sustainable changes. Thank you for your time and attention.